It's the sort of thing that makes you all out of breath just listening to it.
He was this really rich, warm voice. I guess mahogany is a good way of describing it. Exactly what you needed on a rainy day in Vancouver. A rainy November day was Jurgen. It was absolutely perfection.
His writing style, for one, I really enjoyed, especially his columns in the Georgia Strait. He was always eloquent in describing the wines that he reviewed, giving a bit of history on them, and never in his articles was there a hint of pretension.
The greatest thing about Jurgen was his generosity in his reviews. I mean, Jurgen would review things fairly and honestly, but never viciously.
What was really admirable about Jurgen is that he never wrote anything negative. And I asked him about that once, and he said, well, why bother giving ink space to something that people aren't going to enjoy?
Just think, if every player in the Toronto Symphony would have a different colored violin, what a spectacle it would be, what a rainbow, what a visual feast. And then people would say, oh no, I can't go to work today because the second violin's clashing with my tie. And then there would be a lot of argument, I suppose. But I like the idea of blue violins.
He was an interesting person. He was the kind of person that when he spoke, you actually wanted to listen to what he had to say. He intertwined fact, his interests, and always with just a little bit of humor on the lighter side of things, that you could tell this was an individual that enjoyed life and you wanted to share it with him.
I think that's really what Jurgen was about, an appreciation for things, whether it was food, whether it was music, whether it was wine. And I think that he conveyed it as well, so that you'd pick up on that, and it was sort of, infectious, addictive. You like this personality, I want to be like that. I want to appreciate things like that.
My first impression when I met Jurgen was that this is a very funny man. He was a joy to be around. He had a quick sense of humor, again, without a nasty edge.
Wines of British Columbia made up of the wine, of course, the place, and the people. And those three things all came together with the Jurgen. And anytime he told a story, it encapsulated all of that. And every time you picked up a bottle and poured a glass, it wasn't just what was in the glass. You really thought back to what Jurgen had to say about it. And his contribution to the wine industry here in BC has been phenomenal. And the results we see today are due to people like him and he specifically, because he was a true pioneer.
As a lover of music, who was also a lover of fine wine, I mean, there you go. You've got somebody who lives in their senses in such an articulate manner. Of course it's going to have a tremendous impact. And then there was just the person that he was, which was amazing.
He came from very humble beginnings, and he worked really hard, and every success that he got was hard-earned.
It wouldn't have happened as well if it hadn't been for the likes of Jurgen Gothe that put pen to paper and voiced his opinions about the exciting things that were happening in the British Columbia wine industry. So how do you measure that? I guess every day when we look at our successes in industry, we know that we owe a debt of gratitude to Jurgen Gothe for that contribution.
Mr. Woke asked me earlier in the week, what's the last tune you want to hear on the last program? And I didn't hesitate for a moment. I said Rebel Rouser by Duane Eddy. And why is that? It's because the first 45 RPM I ever bought with my own money.
So in the spirit of Jurgen, I think that he's probably upstairs there with Dionysius and Bacchus, doing another wine tasting. Of course, that's very important. Keep your palate handy. So what I'd like to do is propose a toast, and all the best to Jurgen. Glad to have known you, and here's to you. Cheers.
From all of us, all the Martiniks at Stoneboat Vineyards and the rest of the team, cheers to Jurgen.
This is a glass I will raise for Jurgen. I wish I could raise it in his presence, but I will raise it in his memory.
Jurgen, wherever you are, I hope the wine is chilled, the music is good, and the view is spectacular. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I appreciate it deeply.
Jurgen, 2012, Switchback, Pinot Gris, cheers. So next time we get together, I'll bring a case of this.
And I know that wherever he is right now looking down, it's happy hour all the time. So, my friend, cheers to you. Rest in peace.
Jurgen, cheers. Beautiful glass of North Okanagan Riesling. I know it was one of your favorites, and it was a pleasure to know you, and many, many thanks for everything you've done for the BC wine industry. Cheers.
Damn, we should have had a twangy guitar theme after all these years, shouldn't we have? Well, that's it for Disc Drive. I'm your